Now, it's got to be said that if you're coming to London and you don't see this, probably the most iconic piece of London, Tower Bridge, then you've probably missed out. And if you get to see a chance to see it opening and closing, well, that's just an added bonus. Just seeing the road raise and come back down again, and also seeing some of the ships pass under. Anyway, that's something we'll talk about a little bit later in this video. But the reason for this video this week is the fact that it's celebrating 130 years. Yes, 130 years of history for this bridge alone. And whilst you're here, if you're coming down here between now and the end of September, they have a display on the bridge. So you can catch up with the history and find out what happened. Now, one thing we love to do here at London Visited is not just to bring you some great views of London, so you can really just salivate over that, but we love to bring you the history as well. Now, if you've been listening to our podcasts, which are now sort of 200 in length, over your podcast provider, you'll find that number 76 is all about the history of Tower Bridge, including some daring soul that took a biplane right between the road bridge and the top part here. But anyway, that's a different story. Now, the exhibition that they have here, as they go along, they've got pictures and then you can scan the QR codes. And for your benefit, yes, I've scanned the QR codes, and this is what it shows you. So you can actually see there's an animation. They colour it up and then they zoom in. And on some of them, you can actually see where they've got some of the people moving very, very slightly. But the great thing is, if you fancy having a go at this yourself, just scan the QR code and it will bring up the picture once it takes you through. So on 3 of the piers, and the 4th pier they haven't got because that's the ticket office to get into Tower Bridge, they've got these big displays telling you all about the history. And as you can see, the royal opening took place on Saturday the 30th of June, 1894. So yes, we've just passed it, but 130 years, it's got to be well worth celebrating. And as you can see on this, you've got the different places where they are, so you can go under the bridge when you're on the pedestrian walkways, go over to the other side and catch up with all of the history. So what we're going to do with this video is I'm going to put some music in the background, but when you see something that you want to read about, some of the history, I would suggest just pause the video. Pause the video where you want to read it, and therefore you can then catch up with the history and the opening ceremony as well. And of course, if you're coming to Tower Bridge, you've got to take in the magnificent views of both modern and old as well. So with the City of London that you've got there and the Shard that's just gone past, but also on the other side of the river, of course, with a view from the middle of the bridge, you get the Tower of London and the fantastic white tower sticking above the turrets which surround it. So another thing I'm going to suggest as well, if you're coming up anywhere near Tower Bridge, if you go to their website, it will tell you when it's going to open and close. They have to publish a list, a schedule here for traffic coming over, so you can see when it's scheduled to open and close to make sure that you can capture it yourself. Right, here comes another animation. And I love the way it just shows what it was like before they actually put the stands there to see the royal opening of Tower Bridge. So taking in a view from the other side, you've got Butler's Wharf, which we've previously mentioned in other videos, and then the view right over the back there, that is the Canary Wharf estate looking, so that's all the skyscrapers there. And then as you come round, you've got St Catherine Docks, and that horrible concretey looking building is the Tower Hotel, which gives great views from the windows but don't give great views back onto it. I really hope you're enjoying the history, and for me it's just some of these amazing photos like this one of one part of the bridge raised and the other one not, with all of the other bits and pieces on there. Health and safety would have gone mad. And if you're looking at this, you can just see the Tower of London over there just by the City of London. It just goes to show you, I just love that bit where modern meets old. And if you're enjoying the video, do us a favour, give us a big thumbs up, will you? And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you love London, well, you're missing out. So go on, hit that button and also hit that notification bell. Now, if you're looking at this thinking, where's all the traffic coming across Tower Bridge? Because believe you me, it comes across. That's because Tower Bridge is about to raise. But I've caught that for a different video, so stay tuned. Now for me, for this whole exhibition, this has got to be one of my favourite photos, and the reason for that is it's got the bit in the middle where the two parts of the bridge meet, and quite often, to be quite honest, I love standing over that and looking down because you can see the Thames underneath. And here you've got the slight animation of it, and just look at the man with the bowler hat and also the top hat moving their heads in the animation here. And this is the gap where it's the pedestrian part, but also the roadway where you've got the gap between the two. And did you see that? Did you capture that light underneath? That was the Thames. So yes, you can see right down into the Thames and you can stand on both. Anyway, back to a bit more history. And what an amazing picture, just showing some of those 140,000 people coming backwards and forwards across the bridge when it opened. Now, one of the things you can do when you come here is you can go into Tower Bridge, go and see how it all operates, and also walk along the walkway up above as well. So I'll put a link to the video that we've done on that in the top right hand corner. And the thing I love about this photo is just look at that street lamp right in the middle of the road, unprotected. I wonder how many people or carriages or horses hit that as they were coming across. And with this amazing picture, that is the complete history of the opening of Tower Bridge just over 130 years ago. So if you get a chance, do get down here and come and have a look. Right, this is the final animated photo that we're going to show you now. And don't forget, if you scan the QR codes at home, you'll also benefit from it. So you don't need your own Tower Bridge, but you can also enjoy the animation from the comfort of your own phone. And I loved one of the way the displays actually said, London without Tower Bridge is like Paris without its Eiffel Tower and Cairo without its pyramids. Couldn't agree more. And it's one of those places that always puts the hairs on the back of my neck up when I come here, because it's just such a fantastic, iconic place to visit. Happy birthday, Tower Bridge. Here's to the next 130.